Hey, welcome to Matt's Garage. Seems like just a year ago today I was taking the body off the frame and getting it back from the sandblasters. That was a year ago, actually. Here's a link to that video. So let me bring you up to speed on what's been going on. Those of you who follow me on Instagram at Matt's Garage Show have seen that I basically had to undo all the body work I've been doing, but with a little help from friends, I'm able to get back to where I was and a little farther. For those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, basically all the firewall, I busted up all of the spot welds so I can bend those back. Right now I've got them bent back way far just to keep them out of the way because it's not critical to what I'm doing at the moment. And then basically I had to undo all of everything in the back. So took apart that, took apart everything. There's nothing here, basically. So yeah, so I started back from scratch. None of this is welded in, but let me take you through the whole body door situation here. I've got this wide angle so that you can see everything, but you're not going to see the details of anything. Hopefully it's not so wide angle. You see my dress, socks, and shorts. Just got home from work. So my dad came over. Thank you, Dad. And we were able to get the kick panels and the front door post and all the front sheet metal and hood on. And then Carl came over and he helped me mount the door. And my dad also helped me with the quarter panels and the dash and all this stuff. And then we got the hood mounted, and then Carl with the 66 came over and help me hang the doors. So I know it's all crooked looking, okay? I'm very well aware, but this is a starting point. Nothing is welded in, everything is screwed in. So the first thing I need to do is this, these doors from Tom's, this comes as a separate piece, pulls right out. And right now I need to clearance it so it sits all the way down into the door. It's not quite all the way down. Even with it all the way down, it's still going to be a little bit high. Now, check this out. It's amazing how much things make a difference. If I pull this out, if I pull the door out and then I push this up, you see it's almost aligned. It's just a little, the windshield frame is about 1/4 or 3/8 low. Okay, so what I'm trying to figure out now is, obviously this gap is too big. So all I need to do to undo that gap is bust out these two screws and push the whole thing forward with like a jack under here. So these two screws is all that's holding this kick panel onto the rocker. So take those out, move it back about 1/8, screw it back in, which is splitting the difference to where I originally put it, which was too close. So now it's too far. I'll split the difference. That'll push this back. Okay, great. That'll take care of this gap back here and get me, because right now it's about 1/4 inch, and I want to split that to be, half that, obviously. So once that's back, I also have to address the height. Now this does look like it's a little high, okay, which means I can bring the door down in relation to everything. So to bring just the door down in relation to the windshield frame, I have to unscrew the door post, which is held on by 2 other screws, one right here and one right here, and then I can drop that a little bit. The tricky part is when you drop that, you're also dropping your fender in relation to everything. So I have to be very careful about how all that works out. Because if I drop the back of this fender, then all of a sudden the nose will start being too high in relation to everything else. And you know, the way the hood sits in relation to that won't be right, because right now the hood is at its lowest. The hinges are at their lowest position, so I can't go any lower with the hood. It's all, I know, I don't even know if I'm making sense, but it makes kind of sense to me. Okay, so doors on, it's a little high and it's a little far forward. So once I get it a little lower and a little further back, I still have the problem of the relation, and once I get this sat down fully, I still have the problem of the relationship between the windshield frame and the door. Let's say it's an eighth off, right? Then we already addressed that. Sorry, I'm working on it, guys. It's not easy, all right? The other issue is, once I get this pushed back, and once I get this lined up here, you see obviously there's a huge gap between the door window frame and the windshield frame. If I push the front door pillar at a steeper angle, which is why I took them apart, I get close, but still it's too far. This gap needs to be, I could fit my thumb in there, and really it should just be the width of like a paint stick. So this is where I'm getting a little concerned. And let me zoom in so you can see that connection. Okay. What determines the relationship of the windshield frame to the window frame, the door window frame, is where this cowl sits in relation to this doorpost, okay? So the closer the doorpost to this cowl piece, the closer the door gets to the windshield frame. In order to make up that difference, I need to get pretty close to that. In order to make up that difference, I have to take the screw out and pull this back. But I think on the stock ones, it was just to the point where these were flush, right? Which is only about an eighth, maybe a little more than an eighth. So that'll close an eighth of the gap. So I'm just trying to figure out if that's going to be enough or not, and there's no way to know until I get all of it done. One of the problems is this thing's just flapping out there, right? And once I get it to the right height, I think in order to keep it from flapping, what I'm going to do is make an L bracket that ties, well, it will be more than an L because it's at an angle, but basically ties this flange that I broke apart from the back half to the kick panel. And that'll hold it in whatever position I want. And I think that'll give me the stability to really get this fine-tuned. The other problem is moving this, okay, it is in a way tied to the kick panel too, so I don't know how much resistance there's going to be in squeezing this in. It's tied two ways, okay. One way is there's a bracket that holds the dashboard in place. Let me see if I can show it to you guys here. All right, we're going in, Captain. That is the bracket. You see, that's the top of it there, and the bottom is there. Okay, so imagine there's another one on the other side over there, right there. Okay, and then the dash ties to the windshield with this bolt, right? So there's not that much room for play because they all work together as a system. So I don't know if I'm overthinking this or actually underthinking it, but this is where the party is, right here, man. This area is where the party is. And I'm close. I mean, we're talking eighths and quarters, not inches, which is a huge benefit. Like when I pull the door up and get it lined up, I mean, the lines are great. The fender sits pretty good. I've got the other fender mounted up. That sits pretty good. As you can see, the family's getting home. But that's it. Go ahead, it's okay. Mrs. Matt's garage doesn't like being on TV. I don't know why. Obviously doesn't run in the family. It's a joke because married, it wouldn't be a genetic thing. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on. Let me know if you have any comments. This is where I really need the expertise and the help. Once I get that figured out, then mount the top up, little ticky tacks everywhere, and start fitting everything final before I really start throwing some tacks in there. So see you next time on Matt's Garage.